Pasulka, IB Masters Learning Center and IBMasters.com. And today we're going to look at the 13th question from the Digital SAT Practice Test 1. Number 13 reads, which choice most effectively uses the data from the table to complete the statement? And so, you want to make sure you understand what's going on in the graph, in the table, I should say, before you start looking at answer choices. And of course, we're going to read the paragraph. The title, Employment by Sector in France and the United States from 1812 to 2012 as percent of total employment. We've got the year. 1800, 1900 goes by 100 years. 1950 goes by 50 years after that. And then to 2012, 62 years after that. A little weird, but, time difference changes. Then we've got agriculture in France, manufacturing in France, services in France, and then agriculture in U.S., manufacturing U.S., services in U.S. So we've got both by country on the left, France, right, U.S., and then we've also got agriculture, manufacturing, and services, and that repeats. And then we've got all our percents, and you might look at the percents bit, throw them around. Keep in mind, you're not going to have a ton of time to look at each of these. Rows in the table may not add to 100% due to rounding. This is not the math sections of reading. You're probably not going to go looking to add the rows. So let's read the paragraph. Over the past 200 years, the percent of population employed in the agricultural sector has declined in both France and the United States, while employment in the service sector, which includes jobs in retail, consulting, real estate, etc., has risen. However, this transition happened at very different rates in the two countries. This can be seen most clearly by comparing employment by sector in both countries and then which choice most effectively uses the data in the table to complete the statement. So 1900 to 1950. So 1900 to 1950 is here. And remember, it's comparing the different rates of the two countries. So I'm just going to circle this part right here. And then we're going to investigate. So in France, agriculture was 43%, 41% in the U.S. In France, agriculture in 1900. In 1950, in France, agriculture was 32%, 14% in the U.S. Looks like the U.S. was much more industrialized between the years 1900 to 1950 than France was. Manufacturing stayed the same in the U.S. It was the same in the U.S. and France in 1950. And it was within 1 percentage point for manufacturing in 1900. And if we look at services in France, 1900, 28 to 31. Services in France, 35% in 1950, 53% in the U.S. So it looks like answer choice A looks pretty good. We've got not all three of them, but two of the stats really differ between the France and the U.S. That's agriculture here. Big difference. And then services here. And now we'll look at, next one says 1800 to 2012. 1800 in France, 64, 22, 14. In the U.S., 68, 18, 13. Similar percentages. They're all within 4 percentage points of each other. Let's see what happens by 2012. 321, 76 versus 2, 18, and 80. All within 4 percentage points. Probably not going to be B. Answer choice C. 1900 to 2012. We already looked here. 43, 29, 28. 41, 28, 31. They're all within 3 percentage points of each other. To 2012, again, 321, 76, 218, 80. Those are all within 4 percentage points of each other. Not so. 1800 to 1900. So here in France, 1800, 64, 22, 14, 68, 18, 13. Within 4 percentage points. And then to 1900, there's a big difference. We go from, no, it's not actually, 41, 29, 28, 41, 28, 31. So those are all within 2, 3 percentage points. So it's not going to be D. Now, answer choice A is the correct answer. Namely, we see that from 1900 to 1950, in agriculture, 43 to 32. In the U.S., 41 to 14. So in 1950, the agriculture in the two countries differs by 18 percentage points. That's big when it starts with only a difference of 2 percentage points. 1900, services in France, 28 U.S., 31 in 1900, only differ by 3 percentage points. But then by 1950, 35 to 53, differ by 18 percentage points. A is going to be your correct answer. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has difficulty with reading tables on the reading writing section of the SAT. If there's any question you'd like to see answered from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video on TikTok. Have a great day.